Hello, citizens of YouTube. This is the Geeky Nerd here, and today we're going to be talking about guns as an investment. So, before I begin, though, I'd like to send a big thank you out to everyone who has liked, commented, and subscribed. I always appreciate it and always enjoy talking to you guys. However, if you're new here to the channel, welcome. If you enjoy this video, enjoy this type of content, please consider liking, commenting, and or subscribing. And with the PR out the way, let's get into it. So, 401G, with G standing for guns, is how I like to usually say it. And there's certainly a lot of guns out there that you should invest in or you could invest in, but there's also a lot that you really shouldn't for an investment or kind of a savings account, as I like to look at it. Generally speaking, though, most guns will hold their value. They're a very liquid asset. If you walk into a gun store, buy a gun, literally make a 360 turn and say, actually, I want to sell this, you're probably going to get exactly what you paid for it. If not, maybe just a little bit less. And sometimes, come around a year or two with some guns that become discontinued or limited edition runs, like this CZ here, then, you can sometimes even double your profit, or quadruple. Just look at, I know everyone says Mosin Nagants and SKSs and Lee Enfields, but you guys know the picture. And those are surplus, but, you get some limited runs like SIG Equinoxes and et cetera, et cetera. The list can go on. And so I was just making this video as kind of a way to say what I generally look for if I'm looking to buy a gun for an investment or to kind of get because it's limited edition, et cetera, et cetera. Now, overall, I don't really go out buying guns to turn a profit on them. I buy them because I like them, enjoy the mechanical engineering aspect of them, or I just find them cool, or just, it's nice to have something that's limited edition that's not, many out there. Whether it truly is limited or not, I'm looking at you, SIG, with your Equinox lines and changing the name a little bit and then reintroducing them 5 years later. But I digress. So I was just making this video kind of saying what I look for and what maybe you guys should consider. So, as you see, there's a lot of guns on the table here. Like each one, some more than most. You guys know USP holds a special place in my heart. And, of course, my Walther P9, all these guns do. But let's just start from left to right. Now, I specifically picked these guns on the table because it's going to give you a broad choice and broad kind of explanation of all the various types of guns that are going to increase, decrease the value, what you look for, what you shouldn't. So, on the left here, HK USP Compact. You're probably saying, hey, Geeky Nerd, this gun is still in production. Why isn't it on this table? It's not really that crazy. Well, for those of you guys that are in the know with HKs, they come in batches. So you're actually going to notice a lot of the times there is kind of an ebb and a flow with the pricing of these guns. So, you're going to see them in every single store for about a month or so, and then they're going to dry up for about 5 months, and then boom, they're back again. It seems like they do two different imports, two imports every year. So you're going to see that kind of ebbs and flow crest. Now, also, with that being said, this isn't just going to apply to HKs, but also some other guns, is guns that are imported. So if a gun isn't being imported, that, of course, means that it can no longer be imported, and then it immediately shoots up in value. You just look at like the, what's some guns? Well, actually, here, we could say like the Russian-made ammo. That's one thing. I know that's ammo, but you guys get what I'm trying to say here. Excuse me. With that being said, HKs, you could, if you're looking to turn a profit on them, you can. That's kind of shady and crappy, in my opinion, if you're, scouting people. But hey, if someone has to have it now, capitalist market, it's going to be what it's going to be. But HKs and imported guns in particular are going to have ebbs and flows with pricing, and that's something you should just look out for with investing. Now, moving on here, we have like the CZ. This is a CZ75 Cold War commemorative edition. It's got the red star, it's got the Cyrillic on the slide, and this one is limited. CZ doesn't make it anymore. However, they were notorious because they originally released a batch of, I believe it was 1,000 or so. Might have been like around 1,000, 2,500. And then they said, okay, no more. Then they found it was kind of popular, so they released like a batch 2, batch 3, and this one is like a batch 4, which is apparently their final batch. Again, subject to change, which of course, disconcerts some collectors. However, the first generation will still hold a bit more value as opposed to the fourth generation. It's just how it is. They're, newer. There's more prevalent of them. And this is an example of a gun that was done in limited runs, limited production, and should not continue on unless, of course, the manufacturer changes. Also, this has a few differentiating unique features that can drive up its value and will at least hold its value again with the Cyrillic markings. Is it really important to most people if they just want to see Z75? No, but for that person that is looking, that's going to retain its value more. Now, skipping here, I know I'm coming back to peanut butter Glock. This SIG 1911. Now, this is a gun that's currently in production. However, it has very limited runs. So it's kind of similar to the ebbs and flows of the USP. However, this is made stateside. And, of course, when, what do you call it? I guess you would say, hey, supply and demand dictates, SIG's going to make a heck of a lot more P320s than they are going to make of these 1911 Nightmares. Now, this being kind of a custom variation, something to look for as well, because they could very well discontinue this. Could you make this yourself? Yes. Just some nickel parts, etc., etc. However, it's what that little stamp on the box is going to dictate and what's going to make it a bit more valuable. Now, moving down here, we have guns that are completely discontinued, can't find them anywhere. That's it. They only made a certain number of them. This is a Walther P99 Gen 1. Now, this being a Gen 1, obviously they make Gen 2s, but Gen 2s have also been discontinued. So this gun, I've noticed, has steadily gone up in value. I love this P99 just mainly for the trigger. I don't care what people say. A Canic is not the same. If you go ahead, put it down in the comments if you disagree, but still, a Canic is not the same for me. And with that being said, this P99, being a Gen 1 and being imported, it was kind of a double whammy. It was imported and it's a Gen 1 and it's an old gun of a discontinued model that's not even made anymore. So that just increases its rarity and just is something to look out for on a gun like that. Now, coming in full circle here, see we have the peanut butter Glock. This is an example of a gun that I would not buy for an investment. Get all of these guns as a blanket statement. I can get at least my money back, maybe take a hit of $20 for whatever the dealer fee is going to be, and sell these for what I paid for them. And that's pretty much can be said for any and every gun out there. However, this being a gun for investment, I plan on keeping these guns to the day I leave my house in a pine box. And with that being said, I hope that these can retain their value because pass it on to the next generation. Yes, you don't want them to sell your guns, but in case, if they say, well, Granddad, I don't like the P99, I don't like the USP, but I do like the 1911 because 1911 is classic. All the Glock fanboys just got up on a rave on me on that one. You sell these two, and, oh, well, Granddad had a receipt. These were $500. Now I'm selling for $1,500 a piece. That's great. It works out. But something like this Glock 19X, will it go up in value? Maybe, Gen 1 Glocks, they're very hard to find, and they're very expensive when you do find them. However, polymer framed gun, Glock 19, current production, unless they discontinue it, even if they do discontinue it, it might go up maybe $50, but maybe 20, 30 years, yeah, if they keep it in this pristine condition, sure. Who's to say it won't go up in value? However, generally speaking, they say at least within a 5-year time frame, you would get your money back, but you're not going to get any kind of increase in this. And with that all being said, that is, and if you stuck around for the video, here's a kind of secret bit. With all that being said, generally people say, oh, you shouldn't waste money on a gun, etc., etc. I don't look at buying a gun as a loss of money or as an appreciating asset because it's not. I've never lost money on a gun, and I've never seen anyone really lose money on a gun unless, of course, you don't know what you got. Sorry, I just realized I was a little geeky nerd moment there, about the certain FUDs, Bubbas, whatever you want to call them at the gun shows. Oh, 1911 with an optic, $3,000, hard price. I know what I got. But again, with that being said, I know I could, yes, $1,000 for this 1911 here. Yes, that's a good chunk of change. Yes, it's, something out of your wallet. And yes, that could go something else. However, if I really need that money, fall in hard times, God forbid, I can flip around, turn this sucker, sell for $900 real quick and easy. Boom. Wait maybe a couple days, it'll be sold. Make my money back. And how many things in this day and age can you say that will retain their value and can be easily flipped like that at a ready notice? Additionally, I know this is kind of a rambling video, but this is just kind of my free thought here, and I appreciate if you're sticking around this long, is that guns will always be in demand. In my opinion, there's never not a demand for guns. Even when they're banning guns, there's a demand for guns. I mean, let's be honest here. And it's one of those things that you really can't go wrong on for the most part. And for that is mainly all the reasons why I look at guns as an investment, and why I call these my 401G, G standing for guns. And if you stuck around this long, I truly appreciate you. But if you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, commenting, and or subscribing. Again, I want to hear your guys' feedback. I want to see what you guys think. If you guys invest for guns the same way I do, or if you just buy them and keep them, and if you turn around and say, oh, hey, this is now going up $200 value. Cool, stick it back in the safe. I'll see it in 5 years. But just let me know. But I hope everyone's having a wonderful, awesome, fantastic day, and I'll catch you guys next time. See you guys.